Hello everyone, and just want to let everyone know that this particular video that you're going to watch is for the atheist community out there, or the atheist out there that wants to get rid of religion or wants to see religion go away, who believes that religion is harmful to society. This is a video for those people out there that claim that atheism is not a religion and that they don't have religious practices within atheism. Um, I think a lot of you are going to enjoy this, especially if you're a Christian. Make sure you watch it all the way through so that you can see what I'm talking about. Enjoy.
G-Man.
Yeah, G-Man.
You know, people are always calling me an optimist, man, because I really do believe religion is going to be dead and gone forever someday. In fact, I wonder what that world will look like. If religion died tomorrow, I wonder what the world will look like 100 years from now. Hey guys, welcome to the Cult of Dusty in the future. You can tell it's the future because I've changed my shirt. And I'm glad you're here, man. It's a very special episode of the Cult of Dusty. It's the 100th anniversary of religion's death. And man, so much shit has happened in the last 100 years. If you've been under a rock, let me fill you in. Okay, first of all, religion was fucking everywhere, man, and it sucked ass. You had one side strapping bombs to their chest and blowing themselves up, flying planes into buildings. The other side was writing Bible scriptures on sniper rifles, and they were all killing each other, trying to prove which one of them chose the correct, all-loving God. It sucked dicks. It really sucked dicks. But then the internet came along. And the internet screamed at all the religious people, hey, religious people, guess what? You're all fucking equally retarded. Stop killing each other over it. And it took a long time, but eventually everybody on Earth finally got on the internet and they finally realized, fuck man, we've been retarded this whole fucking time. How the hell could we ever have believed this stupid bullshit? And the internet was like, hey world, don't beat yourself up over too much, man. It happens. You've been programmed poorly since birth. But now that you realize what an idiot you were, maybe we can make a correction here. Maybe we can actually do the right thing. Why don't we put those very valuable resources into spreading science and education? And the whole world was like, fuck yeah, man, that sounds awesome. Let's do that. And so that's what we fucking did. We put all those resources into science and education, and boom, man, it was an explosion of technology like the world has never seen. It was fucking awesome. The technological advances were so rapid every single day something new was happening. I was like a fat American kid in a candy store, man. I loved it. I couldn't wait to see what the shit they came out with next. They had quantum computers and digital contact lenses and holograms. Porn has never looked so real, man. And they made handheld computers so cheap they were disposable. Everybody had one, even little kids. And every single day, almost everybody on Earth began to log into the global collective knowledge base of the human species. And that's the moment that humanity finally learned the truth about ourselves. And the truth is this: there is no them. There is only us. We are one people. We are each nothing but a single cell in the organism that is the human species. And before you know it, man, borders started being erased. These imaginary lines drawn on pieces of paper no longer were used to separate us. We were no longer the people of individual countries, but instead we were one. We were the people of Earth. We no longer allowed ourselves to be divided. And to be quite honest with you, I was humbled and honored to be a part of it all. I was humbled and honored to witness it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
See, we need to get rid of religion all the way through because I don't know if it's only one group, such as the West Baptist World Church, are so strict on the ideologies of religion. They have to obey, you know, and saying God hates fags, and such as Shirley Roper, and you know, since you didn't obey God, you know, let the soldiers die. God calls 9/11. It's this religious fanaticism. That's the problem with religion. Who says if that one group, and there could be multiple groups, because religion can hurt and twist. And I think we should just get rid of it all the way. I mean, and it's pretty serious and bad. It's really hurting the country. Why do you think people in other countries such as Sweden live happier lives?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries. I'm reading something here that says the court rules atheism a religion. Decides First Amendment protects prison inmates' right to start a study group. And it says a federal court of appeals ruled yesterday in Wisconsin's prison officials violated an inmate's rights because they did not treat atheism as a religion. Atheism is the inmate's religion, and the group that he wanted to start was religious in nature, even though it expressly rejects a belief in a supreme being. The Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals said the court decided the inmate's First Amendment rights were violated because the prison refused to allow him to create a study group for atheists. Brian Fahling, senior trial attorney for the American Family Association Center for Law and Policy, called the court ruling sort of a Alice in Wonderland jurisprudence. Up is down in atheism and antithesis of religion. Is religion, said Fahling. The Supreme Court has said a religion need not be based on a belief in the existence of a supreme being. In the 1961 case of Torcaso versus Watkins, the court described secular humanism as a religion. Fahling said today's ruling was further evidence of the incoherence of the Establishment Clause jurisprudence. It is difficult not to be somewhat I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this word. It is difficult not to be somewhat John-dicted about our courts when they take clauses especially designed to protect religion from the state and turn them on their head by giving protective cover to a belief system that by every known definition other than the courts, it is not a religion, while simultaneously declaring public expressions of true religious faith to be prohibited, Fahling said.
Dozens of atheist megachurches are springing up across the U.S. The gatherings have been successful in Great Britain. Now they're drawing like-minded non-believers in cities like San Diego, Nashville, and New York. The so-called churches look like typical Sunday morning church services, complete with music, hand clapping, and inspiration. The missing element, God. On Sunday, hundreds of atheists packed this auditorium in Los Angeles for the launch of the latest godless church. British comedians Sanderson Jones and Pippa Evans founded the movement and plan to kickstart more anti-godless assemblies in the U.S.
In the past, many prominent humanist leaders openly proclaimed that humanism was a religion, the new faith for the coming age. They spread their message through hundreds of books and articles. John Dewey, in his book, A Common Faith, wrote this about humanism. Here are all the elements for a religious faith that shall not be confined to sect, class, or race. The Humanist Manifesto 1 proclaimed, "The time has come for widespread recognition of the radical changes in religious beliefs. In every field of human activity, the vital movement is now in the direction of a candid and explicit humanism, religious humanism." In the past, many secular humanists claimed that their worldview was religious. The founders of secular humanism thought that they were creating and propagating a new religion. They wanted the same privileges as other religions, such as a tax exemption. Recently, however, some secular humanists have denied that their worldview is religious. As the dogma of the separation of church and state has spread throughout the courts, humanists have sought ways to retain their presence in the public schools. If secular humanism were viewed as a religion, then it too would lose access to the minds of America's youth. Paul Kurtz, publisher of Prometheus Books and author of the Humanist Manifesto 2, argues that secular humanism is neither a religion nor is it religious in character.
Humanism provides a kind of cosmic outlook. What I mean is it's a tentative interpretation of nature based upon the sciences. It's always changing and open to modification in the light of new evidence. So no, I don't think that's religious or a religion.
Kurtz's argument stems from the way in which he defines religion. He argues that to be a religion, a worldview must hold to belief in some kind of God or gods. But his argument fails because some forms of Buddhism and Confucianism are indeed atheistic. That is, they do not believe in a God. However, they are clearly religious. Therefore, any legitimate definition of religion that includes Buddhism and Confucianism must also include secular humanism. Secular humanists cannot provide a definition of religion that excludes secular humanism, but includes other non-theistic religions. There are generally two approaches to defining religion: the substantive approach, which focuses on the content of the belief, and the functional approach, which focuses on what the belief system does for the individual or the community. America's courts, in response to the United States' increasing religious diversity, have gradually adopted the functional definition of religion. This functional definition of religion was clearly expressed by the Supreme Court in the 1961 case Torcaso versus Watkins. In an explanatory footnote to the case, it states, "Among religions in this country which do not teach what would generally be considered a belief in the existence of God are Buddhism, Taoism, ethical culture, secular humanism, and others." Unfortunately, the Supreme Court has not been consistent in applying this definition to its present interpretation of the First Amendment. It claims that the No Establishment Clause of the First Amendment means that there should be a wall of separation between church and state. Yet secular humanism, a religion, is allowed a privileged position in the public square. If secular humanism is a religion, something the U.S. Supreme Court has proclaimed, philosophers have established, and countless secular humanists insist, then why is it allowed such free access to the public schools?
Secular humanists claim that their worldview is value neutral and agenda free, and that it tolerates all other worldviews. Yet secular humanist educators consistently attack the Christian worldview and have attempted to erase traces of Christian influence on history, science, and various other subjects. As Christianity and other theistic religions have been forced from the classroom, secular humanism, in effect, has been established as the unofficial religion of America.
So now you guys got just a little bit more resources besides myself that's saying that both atheism and humanism is a religion. Okay, these atheists are in denial because they hate God so much they cannot think that they're affiliated with a religion when in reality they are. It's just a truth, guys. You need to accept it. What we really should do as Christians is take you guys to court and make you admit that it's a religion, because legally we can do that, because legally you're a religion. I mean, you are in a religion. You know, you have your own church, you have your own philosophies and ideologies, and you practice your religion like a Pied Piper. And if they don't admit that this is their religion, we should go to the Supreme Court and have them reverse that decision that was made in the Supreme Court, and don't allow anyone to have their religious little studies that they were having. Okay, because they want the cake and they want to eat it too. Can't do it, guys. You understand? You have to admit that you're a religion, because legally you are a religion, and I can prove in so many other ways you're a religion. This video is just a little taste of what I could possibly do on this channel if I really wanted to, because all the stuff that's out there that nobody apparently is out there researching. But until next time, guys, this has been another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries, telling Cult of Dusty and all these other knuckleheads on YouTube here to stop saying that atheism is not a religion, because legally it is, and so is secular humanism and humanism. Read your Bible and do what it says. God bless, guys.